What did the ocean say to the sun? Nothing, it just waved. Hello Sun Exchanges, welcome to episode 45 of Sun Exchange Video Diaries. This is the place to be first to know about all goings on behind the scenes at Sun Exchange, so make sure you like and are subscribed to this channel. Let's jump straight in. Fantastic news, a Burland wine cellar crowd sale sold out recently, and over 1,000 of you guys are now going to be making money from sunshine whilst lowering energy costs to one of South Africa's most world famous industries, which is winemaking. The installation process for the Burland wine cellar solar plant has in fact already begun. All the equipment is already on site in InPower, the installer, and already getting on the roof and getting your cells installed, and they should be operating by the end of October. For every solar cell you purchase in that crowd sale, you could have entered into our Case of Wine competition. If you entered into that competition, make sure you stick around to the end of this video because we're going to be announcing the winners. If you missed out on sales in that project or simply want to expand your Sun Exchange solar array, fear not, because we have new projects coming very soon. Next up is a crowd sale for Rondebosch Boys High School here in Cape Town, and also for Lara Colt Retirement Home. And between these projects, you could be both solar powering education and lowering the costs of care for the elderly. So make sure you're standing by your device for when those crowd sales open very soon. Great news for any of you who purchase solar cells to power Ushaka Mall. That project is now live and operating. Your solar cells are producing electricity and you'll be receiving your first payout of solar powered money in September. Thank you all so much for your patience. That was the biggest solar installation we've ever done through Sun Exchange, and you made it happen. The solar plant over at Spa Toasterafir is also now producing electricity. So if you own solar cells powering that project, you will also be getting your first payout of solar powered money in September. The solar installations over at Salomon Senecal High School and at Senior Burger Retirement Home are happening in parallel at the same time. They're happening right now. The solar cells are being put on the roofs, and you'll also be producing power by the end of August. The solar plant at Brackenfell High School also is now very much approaching completion. All the solar panels are on the roof, and you should be producing power by the end of this week. A couple of projects with installation delays. The Cape Town High School project has just had to be postponed for a couple of weeks whilst we wait for the Western Cape Education Department to complete some roof work on that school to make sure the roof is in perfect condition for when we put the solar panels on. The solar installation at the Woodside Special Care Centre is now likely to be happening in September. This is once the safety of the residents can be assured. So thank you all for your patience for this fantastic project. The forecast energy for July from Sun Exchange member solar cells was 145 megawatt hours, and what actually produced was 136 megawatt hours. So there's about a 5 to 6% shortfall in energy. Now this shortfall in energy is down to the fact that the schools in South Africa were given 3 weeks extended school holidays. So the energy consumption from our many school projects dropped significantly below that with which we are forecast. Similarly, the project's solar powering supermarkets, which have liquor stores, also had a drastic reduction in their energy consumption. This is due to a government ban on liquor sales during the current stage of the COVID lockdown here in South Africa. But both these situations are just temporary. The schools are now returning, and the booze ban should be being lifted this week. So your energy production for the rest of August and into September should be back to normal. Did you know most of the solar panels that make up Sun Exchange projects have to date been made up of 72 cell solar panels? Now, a solar panel is actually made up of individual cells. It's these cells which you're purchasing through a crowd sale. Most solar modules are made up of 72 cells. Now, a common trend we're seeing in the solar industry is a move to 144 cell solar panels. Now, these cells are standard silicon solar cells, but they've been split in half, thereby increasing the efficiency. The power output of the cells are basically the same as they were, but the energy output will have increased. So what's important to know is that you should be aiming towards a power production target, not numbers of cells. Now, if you look at your Sun Exchange dashboard, in the top of the screen, you'll actually see the power output of your combined virtual solar power array. So this is things that you should be looking at to target a certain amount of power output. Now, a typical home in Europe, for example, would require around 4,000 watts of solar cells. So if you want to offset your domestic energy consumption, you merely just need to buy 4,000 watts worth of solar cells through Sun Exchange, so you're a net energy producer. And speaking of platform features, a mega upgrade has just been released to the Sun Exchange platform. You can now browse through operating Sun Exchange solar plants and check in on how much solar energy they have produced since they've been operating against our forecasts. A further update is coming out in the next couple of weeks, which is an enhancement to your Sun Exchange dashboard. This allows you to check in on the amount of carbon dioxide your solar cells have reduced since they've been operating. Another improvement to your dashboard is going to be a status field on each one of your solar projects, which is just a text-based update so you can see quickly and easily what's going on all of your projects. Okay, and finally, now we're going to announce the winners of our Case of Wine giveaway. Bull & Wine Cellar very graciously have gifted 3 cases of wine to be given to Sun Exchange members that bought solar cells in this project. We have chosen those winners completely at random. Every solar cell purchased gave you 1 entry into this draw, but we do now have the winners, so without further ado, let's unveil them. And the winners are Portia Hlapo from South Africa, Matteo Salvamini from Italy, and Francois Raubenheimer, also from South Africa. Congratulations, you will be receiving 1 case of Bull & Wine Cellar wine onto your doorstep very soon. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you to everybody that bought solar cells in that project. Even if you didn't win the wine, you're still going to be getting 20 years of solar powered money from solar powering winemaking. If you are interested in artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, space, alternative energy, you may want to check out a brand new podcast called The Orange Pill, presented by Max Kaiser and Stacey Herbert. I'm the first guest on the first episode of this brand new show, so do check out the links below and give that a follow. So that's it for this episode 45 of Sun Exchange Video Diaries. Thanks all very much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you in episode 46 very soon.